As I've worked with many industries over the years, I've seen a pattern in that many of the people, no matter what your job or industry, tend to underestimate or not really realize how much value you bring to the brand and to the organization. I remember several years ago, I was showing up for another job, there to give a talk on engaging with your customers. And it was early and it was dark and I'm getting out of the car and I'm juggling my coffee in my briefcase. And I take one step into that parking lot and all of a sudden out of nowhere, I hear singing. It was like, some sweet morning when this day is over, I'll fly away. Her loud staccato jubilant notes of a life well lived. The automatic glass doors opened up and I could see this woman, and she is standing there holding her mop as if it were a beloved dance partner, as if her faded cotton dress were made of the finest silk. I took a seat in the lobby. I was a little bit early. I had to get a little bit prepared, typing on my computer, trying to focus, and I'll admit it, feeling a little bit self-important. But I couldn't stop staring at that woman over there. Now, it didn't matter because she was oblivious to everyone around her, as if it were the most natural thing in the world for her to be dancing and singing and twirling her way across the marbled floors of her hospital lobby, while the beeps of the monitors and the dings of the elevators sang to her in sweet harmony. And I could smell the perfume of my changed perspective as I watched that woman turn her job into an art. She didn't know I was in the restroom later that morning to hear her stop what she was doing, and she went over to a stranger and she laid hands on him and prayed for their wounded child. She didn't know that I saw her help the old man wrap the shawl tighter around his wife's shoulders. And she didn't know that I saw her give away her lunch. But I watched all throughout the day in those cold, unexpected, antiseptic corners of that hospital, and I saw pain find healing. I watched sorrow meet comfort, and I saw hopelessness find hope. Right there, all wrapped up in her faded cotton dress and comfortable shoes. Some sweet morning, when this day is over, I'll fly away. She was still singing just as happy when she went out the parking lot at dusk to meet her bus. And I stood at their big window, that big bay glass window, and I watched her go, and I wished that she wouldn't, and I wondered if I would ever see her again, and I haven't. I'm standing beside their sign. Oh, it was fancy, floor to ceiling, no doubt created by a group of marketing intellectuals. And the sign said quite simply, excellence starts here. And I smiled and wondered if her CEO knew just how true that really was. You see, that day, on an ordinary, unsuspecting day, a woman with a mop taught me more than I would have to teach others about what it looks like to serve. That you can't care about your customers until you care about your customers. A woman who smelled of bleach and blessings reminded me that happiness, peace, contentment, a love for what you do and why you do it isn't something you wait for somebody to bring you or give you or affirm. I mean, she wasn't happy because she had the best job in the place. No, I think she was happy because that was the story that she wrote every day before she walked in those doors. And I think if you write it enough, one day you'll wake up and it just is. That woman taught me how every single one of us has the amazing potential, privilege to impact every person who crosses our path. Whether we're holding a checkbook or a stethoscope or a mop, that we all have an impact on the brand. That at the end of the day, people do business with people. Not systems, not buildings, not taglines, but people. People they like, trust, believe, feel like they know. People come back, not just for the quality you provide, but for the experience you create. And everybody has a part in that because you may be the only face of the brand that they see. I learned all that from a woman with a mop. that we are all storytellers of our brand.